Same again, Barman.
Oh, look at the state of that. He looks like a bloody hippie.
Hi guys, it's Pratik Barman from Same Again Barman YouTube channel. Thank you very much to everyone who watched the first episode of Same Again Barman with Mr. Richard West, aka Mr. C. If you haven't seen it, watch it after this video. Press like and subscribe on the buttons below. This week we have professional comedian Kelly Convey. Find out how within 4 years she went from not doing comedy to performing with Russell Kane and Alan Carr. And also what she thinks of Strictly Come Dancing. Tune in now. Enjoy.
How are you, Kelly?
I'm good, darling. How are you?
I'm all right, yes. How's lockdown been treating you?
Yeah, it's been good. I see that both of us have our hair has grown quite a lot. You look like Jasmine's dad from Aladdin.
Well, Kelly, you know, it's a whole new world.
It is a whole new world, my darling. We get that flying carpet, but we'll have to quarantine for 14 days afterwards, unfortunately.
You haven't been the Same Again Barman before, have you?
Yes, I've been there a few times.
No, not to this private bar, though, have you?
No, there's no chance that you're going to get me in any private room with you.
Well, you're lucky you're from a distance. So, I've got some drinks for you, yeah? They're cocktails, yeah? You have to choose which one you want. They're named after Kellys, okay? So, the first one is Kelly Osborne. It's got a bit of fizz in it, yeah? The second one is Kelly Brook. It's sweet, you know, a bit like you, bit not like you, to be honest. And then we've got Kellyanne Conway, slightly acidic. So, which one would you like to have?
I think I'd like to go with Kelly Brook, please.
Kelly Brook, you okay? I'll just pour it out for you. Here it comes. You ready? Do you want to take it?
Thank you.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, look at that. Lovely
Wow.
Oh.
That's good. And would you like a snack with it?
Oh, yes, please. I'd love a snack.
I got some papadums for you. They're Indian, they're Welsh Indian types. So,
lovely. Thank you very much.
A papadum.
Eat the dog bones. Good for oral health.
Yeah, that's good.
How bloody dare you? You told me I need to support good oral hygiene.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
I think you should. I think you should.
I'll have to give that to my dog, but thank you very much. It was very thoughtful of you.
So you were brought up in Chatham, I believe. Is that correct?
I was brought up in Chatham, yes.
Yeah, so I hear this where the chavs come from. Is that correct?
If you look up the word chav in the English dictionary, it's actually, it says a young lower class person said to display brash or loutish behaviour, said to originate in Chatham, Kent.
Yeah, so you were brought up there. What was Chatham like?
It's my home, so you know, it's rough around the edges, and but it's home, and all my family still live there. It was used to sort of, you know, truant from school and all that stuff. It all was pretty normal. So it is rough. You probably wouldn't choose to maybe go and visit on a Saturday night. You might not want to be walking down the high street, but it's a good place.
So Chatham is a bit rough, would you say, yeah? So do you have the lingo to actually, you were brought up there, so you must have the lingo.
I can teach you some actual chav words.
Go on then.
Okay, so if I said to you, the gathers are coming, what does that mean?
The police are coming.
Yes, well done. I need to sort my armour out.
I need to sort my hair out.
Yes!
Well, I know.
Well, you actually do.
Camel, proper.
Yeah, you need to sort out your armour.
But have you ever got sacked from a job? I believe you have, no?
Yes, I have, funnily enough. Yes, when I finished a job with Expedia, I got a job in the wine industry. I went to a big conference in Düsseldorf, and it was this thing called Provine, and it was like aircraft hangars full of wine, and you could just drink as well. No, you're meant to taste as much as you like. You taste it and spit it out. Well, you know, I'm from Chatham and I'm half Irish. I wasn't spitting any wine out. So I'm like going around just necking wine for 3 days. And so I made such a show of myself at this conference that I went into the office the following morning, and everyone couldn't make eye contact with me, and they were all a bit like, "Hi," and I was like, "Oh no!" It's like, "Oh God." So then I got called down to the boss in like this room, and they were like, "How was Provine?" I was like, "Yeah, it's great. I had some really good meetings, got some really good connections, like la 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 la." And they were like, "Right, okay. How was the flight home?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." They were like, "Did you have anything to drink?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I had a glass of wine. Glass of wine." They're like, "Okay," because we've had these reports, and there was like all these people had like contacted them and was like, "This girl is a disgrace and an embarrassment."
Way.
Yeah, and they were like, "Look, you can't work here anymore."
But as you said, that led you really to pursuing comedy a bit more, didn't it? Because you did your first comedy gig on March the 1st, which is St. David's Day, which is a good day, the 6th, 2016, is that right? How did that go, the first one?
Good, actually. I was so nervous that I had sweat dripping down my arm, like from my palms. I was so nervous. And then as soon as I got up there, I was just like, "Okay, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm happy with this. This is like, I felt so scared and nervous, but I felt at home, and I was just like, yeah, okay, all right, I'm on board. And it all changed really because when I got fired, I'd probably done like 3 stand-up gigs at the time. So when I got fired from the wine job, it was almost like, okay, you found something that you love. You don't have a job, so go for it. And so I gigged every single night of the week. And
sometimes you did 2 gigs a night, maybe?
Yep.
2 or 3 gigs?
Yep.
And you did that for a year, didn't you? Just continuously?
Yeah, continuously. I mean, it was, well, up until Corona, like BC, I was pretty much gigging 5 to 7 nights a week, or at least 5 to 7 gigs a week. And that's the only way you can do it, really, is to just sort of hammer them out. And because every gig you improve, every gig you learn, especially the ones that you die at or have a bad time, because that's when you really learn. Is you can only learn when it goes wrong. So, and I think that's a lesson in life as well. But it just worked out really well that I didn't have a job, I had enough money to keep me going, and then I just went for it. Yeah, so about 6 months in, I was in So You Think You're Funny final, Funny Women semi-final, and a couple of others. And what that did was put me in front of agents looking for talent. My now agent Off the Curb came to, I think it was the Funny Women semi-final. They contacted me and asked me to come and do a tryout spot for them. They, being in those competitions changed everything, because I don't know if those people would have seen me as quickly as they did. And so they saw me when I was about 6 months in, and then they signed me when I was a year in. They signed me pretty much it was March 2017 that I got signed to Off the Curb. So it was pretty much a year.
Well, it led to so many avenues for you on doing stand-up, because you also ended up doing tours with some very well-known comedians, you did Russell Kane, I believe, Rob Beckett, and I think your favourite, Alan Carr, and you've also done stand-up with Romesh, my lookalike. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, is that why you've grown it through? You trying to?
I'm trying to be funny, Kelly. You know, that's the problem. He's funny and I'm not. I think maybe growing a beard it may work out. You know, so I'm trying to copy him. You know.
Mate, you've got to try whatever you can. You know, just. I'm glad that I didn't have to resort to facial hair.
You went from doing stand-up in 2016 and touring with Alan Carr for how long? You went to the North Hebrides, didn't you, in Scotland?
Yeah, so Alan and I've done pretty much all of Alan's work in progress tour. I'm due to start supporting him on his actual big tour in January. It was meant to be now, but it got put back because of Corona. But I pretty much toured with Alan on and off for about a year and a half. So we did all of the Highlands. We did all of like Cornwall and Devon, and everywhere in between, really. So that was at the same time as supporting Russell Kane, and then for the last, well, it was probably 4 months before Corona, I was supporting Adam Hills. So I've seen quite a lot of the country again.
Adam Hills, is he a nice guy?
Oh, he's a nasty piece of work. He really is, and really. No, he's lovely. He's so nice. He's ridiculously nice. I'll tell you a story about Adam Hills. So it was about 3 days before lockdown. We were up in Bakewell, which is really, really north. And I was supporting him, and I was leaving to drive back down to London. And it's about, I don't know, 5, 6 hours. And I drove off, and about 3 minutes round the corner crashed my car because like this rabbit or something ran out, and I hit the curb, smashed my car to pieces. I was fine, but I was stuck, and I phoned Adam and was like, you're not going to believe, I'm just telling you because you're going to drive past me, the police are here, I've crashed my car. And he came, waited with me until my car was recovered, and he drove me all the way back down to London. He is a really, really good guy.
That is nice, actually. You see, I only asked that because he always seems so nice on TV, and you just confirmed it there, So when people are asking for his autograph, do they ever ask for your autograph?
They tend to just ask me to take the photo for them.
So would you say you've made it yet?
No, you haven't made it until you've made it, mate. I think you can fake it till you make it. And I'm definitely very fortunate. I'm definitely on my way. I'm definitely getting opportunities that I know not many people are able to get. I'm very happy about where it's going, but I've got a long way yet. I've only been doing comedy for 4 years, and I think that you shouldn't get above your station before you get there. I feel like sometimes I get recognised, and sometimes I get to go on things and do things that are the things that I would never even have imagined that I'd be able to do. But there's no way, shape, or form to say that I made it. No.
You know what? I think as comedians, I think people have made it, or in any field, if you make it to Strictly Come Dancing. So if I see you on Strictly Come Dancing, then I know you've made it, Kelly. And maybe I'll be your dance partner. But the injunction is still there, so I don't think that's going to work. But but we'll see about that. Anyway, we'll see about that.
I think if you make it onto Strictly Come Dancing, is that you've made it, and then you're coming down the other end.
Oh,
it's like your career is going down so much that you'd risk your own relationship to go on a dancing show and cheat on your partner and then get in the newspapers again.
That's true, actually. Do you know that show is a disaster for relationships? But
it's cursed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cursed. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of couples got split up, So, but speaking of couples, you've got a nice bloke now named Bruce. Yeah, and your partner Bruce that you got together with, you were supposed to get married this year. What happened? COVID.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. If you haven't noticed, Pratik, there's like the whole world's burning down outside. Yeah, we were meant to get married on July the 4th, Dependence Day, and it got pushed back till May next year.
Kelly, did you call it Dependence Day?
Yes, mate.
It's Independence Day.
Not with me.
Oh, that's the joke.
That's the reaction I always want to get, Pratik. A delayed understanding. So we were meant to get married on July the 4th, Dependence Day, as Eli, yeah. And it got pushed back to May. And then, so we're just waiting to do it next year, really. I mean, there's worse things that are happening than, my wedding getting postponed or whatever.
Thing is, there's always next year. So what do you think about, comedy in the way forward next year with COVID? You did a few outdoor gigs already. You did your first gig at the Tring Festival, is that right? After about 3-4 months? Yes. It was quite emotional for you, wasn't it? After your gig, you cried, didn't you?
Well, I cried when I got there. I felt it was really emotional because it had been like nearly 6 months, and I was gigging every single day of the week. I was supporting Adam at the time, so to go from that to nothing overnight was kind of crazy. And just even in the very act of driving to the gig, found it quite emotional because, like, that's a massive part of it, is the travelling and the going and being a bit anxious and excited. And then I pulled into the car park and all of these people were sat in rows with the stage. And I just was like, oh my, I just got really overwhelmed. It really hit me that how much I missed it and how it was just, so good to be back,
These gig, it was socially distanced, of course. It was outdoor, on a stage. How was the atmosphere?
Atmosphere is different. It's definitely, and especially at this gig because it started raining, which was not ideal. Not great. Yeah. But the atmosphere is different because with comedy, you expect it to be in like a dark room where everyone's crammed in together because that gives people anonymity to laugh at things, what they, whereas open air daylight, 4:00 in the afternoon, bright sun, it's with spacing, people, I don't know, people are laughing a bit less, but they're so grateful to be out that they're so on board with you. So it's, I think everyone has just got an appreciation now for just the normal, for just the very fact that they can go and watch comedy again. I think they're so happy and grateful to be there that they see past that and they enjoy the show. So pretty much all of the gigs that I've done, which is probably about 9 now since March, have all been great because the audience are so up for it. Whereas before Corona, I feel like the audiences were more like, right, come on then, what have you got? Whereas now they're like, yay, entertain us, thank you so much. So it's a blessing in disguise, really.
Yeah, it's been a difficult time, isn't it, for everyone, really, in regards to so in the future, what do you think comedy is going to be like? Do you think we're going to get back to big congregations again?
I bloody hope so, mate. I hope it goes back at some point because, just for example, when I was supporting Rob, we did the Regent's Park open air amphitheatre. Now that's 1,200 seater, but with COVID distancing, we only had about 400 in. So, but that show was sold out. It was sold out. You couldn't get any more tickets for it. But when you're on the stage and even in the seats, I imagine it's the same. It just feels like no one's turned up. And it's a third of the capacity, and so it doesn't feel the same. And I feel like it has to go back to normal because I don't know how long that's going to be, but it has to because that's what's natural to us, and that's what we are as people. I think as soon as there's a vaccine for it, I think that people, like in the pubs and when I've been doing gigs, there's not a shortage of people that want to be there. It's just, the limiting of that. So I think it will eventually go back, but I just don't know how long that will be.
Yeah, it's definitely, as we say, a difficult time for everyone. I want to do another show again. That's how we met. I put on my first Same Again Barman show, and basically I advertised on Comedy Collective and Facebook, and out of the blue, Kelly Convey basically emailed me to come on my show, basically, and that's how we got to meet, really. And I want to get back to that scenario again, because I want to organise stand-up shows and that, but it's very difficult at this time, you know.
Yeah, well, you always pack that joint out. Every time I gigged for you, it was absolutely packed to the rafters. So it was always fun to play. But that would be very, very non-COVID safe.
Yeah, I
Now
know.
there was people sitting on people's laps, the whole thing, you know.
Bruce is a great character in your life, and obviously the love of your life, but you've got a bigger love of your life, Nelson, your dog.
Yes, he's snoring on the sofa, which he shouldn't be on the sofa right now, but he's getting away with it because he knows that I'm stuck here and can't go and get him off.
But what type of dog is he? I'll stick a picture up anyway, but explain what Nelson means to you.
He's a 34-kilo bulldog. He's 7 years old. He's my absolute world. He's my son. He's my baby. He's getting a bit older now, so he's calmed down and he just wants to sleep all day. But he's just everything. I work and Bruce does as well. We work our lives around Nelson, and whatever he wants, he gets. So if you look around my house, there's just pictures of him and bulldog sculptures, and I'm completely obsessed by him. I love him. But I mean, Bruce looks like a bulldog as well, so I'm maybe just into bulldogs. I feel like I've always felt like it. I prioritise my family, my home life over any form of career that I have, and I know, like, I'm hungry for the comedy. I love the comedy, and it is a massive part of me. But my life is my home and my family, and I think sometimes it's important not to lose sight of that, because at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, people aren't going to come up to you and give you, your Chortle Award. You're going to have your family around you. So I just feel like a month out of the year, every year, where it's my birthday, it's my brother's birthday, it's my sister's birthday, all within 1 week in August. I don't get to see my dog. All of that stuff. I don't know. It's. I mean, it sounds like such a stupid reason, because Edinburgh is amazing, which it is, but it doesn't sit. It doesn't sit with me.
The thing is, it got cancelled this year, didn't it? Because of COVID again, this virus. Would you do it again if it came back?
Well, I actually hadn't. I wasn't going this year because of my wedding, so I had said no, I'm not doing Edinburgh, and then it got cancelled. Typically, I don't know if they will be able to do it next year. Maybe they will.
I don't. To be honest, I don't think they will.
I don't think on the scale that what it's like up there, but I think hopefully it's taught them as well to not be so expensive and to be overpriced, and to, go back to the original sense of what Edinburgh was, and that was for people to enjoy comedy, not for companies to make money out of people. So I look, the way I see it is that this is my job, and if by my job it means I have to go and do that, I will do it, quite happily, and I'm not going to be whining about it because it's a stupid thing to whine about. If I have an option and I don't need to, then I would prefer not to.
Yeah, so it's been amazing to have you. The Last Orders Bells is just going, I think, in the Same Again Barman here. Are you going to pay for your drinks? Or you can do that, or you can get your friends to like and subscribe to my page. What would you rather do?
Well, I tell you what, I ain't paying for some water and some old dog bones. So I will get my friends to like and subscribe. How about that?
Kelly, I wouldn't expect anything less. You know, same again, Barman. That's all you got to think about.
It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
And you.
And looking forward to seeing you again, you know, and hopefully you come and do a gig at Same Again Barman again, okay?
I would love to.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kelly.
All right,
Look after
thank
yourself.
you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
This, I was doing like a big mail out. We used to send out DVDs.
Wow. Kelly, can I... Sorry, my mum's on the phone. Mum? Can you stop? I'm recording, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Right, okay.
You got to leave that in. That's hilarious. Bye, Mum.